Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jay Rosen from Washington Valley Cellars, and today we're traveling to Westfield, New Jersey, site of our latest wine cellar project. We've just completed it. We've taken an old sunroom that was doing nothing but storing garden tools and an old piano. We've rebuilt it, we've raised the floor, we've insulated it to create a wine cellar and a tasting room that you're about to see. In doing so, we've used a wide variety of materials, from mahogany for the racking, stone, and some old wooden barn beams that we've put onto the ceiling to create what you're about to see. So why don't you come on inside and let me give you a tour of our latest project and see what you think. Come on in. So come on into the dining room and let me explain to you what was here before we got started. This is the dining room, obviously. It had these two built-in china closets that you can see. And then the area between here and here was an alcove that went out about 18 inches. And there was a piece of furniture in this alcove with a solid wall behind it. So basically the screened-in porch, which is on the other side of this door, was not accessible from the house. At some point in time, the screened-in porch was part of the home, but during a renovation years ago, it was closed off, and the screened-in porch became a repository for garden tools, outdoor furniture, an old piano, and it wasn't used. It was basically part of the home that was being sacrificed for lack of a storage area. When we came out and looked at the space, it became apparent very quickly that this was a great opportunity to build a wine room and really incorporate it as part of the house. Because we have a construction background, we were able to determine that structurally the wall was sound and we could open it back up again and provide the framing members to give it adequate support and then provide a nice arch opening. So what we did is we took the cantilever out, we took the wall out, and we created an arch which gave a bit of an aesthetic, being in between the two rounded cabinets. We used a barn siding, which you'll see in a moment is the same barn siding that we put on the ceiling, and we created a sliding door. So you can leave it open to incorporate the wine room as part of the home, or if you want to go in and close off the door and put yourself in a separate state of mind, you can easily do that as well. So let me open the door and come on in and see the space. The door opens into tasting room, and then beyond the tasting room is the wine room. We first came here, this was just one big open space, and it had a cathedral ceiling, an angled ceiling. We kept the angled ceiling in the tasting room, and we lined it with barn siding and some old oak beams that we got from a barn. We built the wall in between, and we built it in such a way to provide enough storage capacity inside the wine room for what the owners were looking for, but at the same time we provided a space in the tasting room large enough to be able to entertain 4 or 5 people. So come on in and take a look. As you can see, we've got a chair, we've got a table with some stools. We built a staircase to come down into the room. And we really created 2 spaces, if you will, both the outside tasting area and the inside wine storage area. One of the things we tried to do here is incorporate the display row around the perimeter of the room. With the display row, we cant the bottles at a 15-degree angle. What's important about that is at a 15-degree angle, the liquid still stays in contact with the cork, so there's no issue with drying out corks or anything like that. When we do a display row such as this, what we try to do is provide hidden lighting so that you can turn off the lights in the cellar and leave the display lighting on, so that when you're sitting in the adjacent room having dinner, it's a beautiful aesthetic. Let me show you what I mean by that. So now you can see, with the lights off in the wine cellar and the display lighting on, it's a beautiful appearance to the bottles that are stored in that particular row. Sometimes people will just leave the display lighting on all the time. It's an LED light, so it's not a problem. It uses very little energy, and they're rated for 20,000 hours, so they're not going to burn out. We've got a black honed granite countertop with a slight arch to it. And we also created a backsplash, as you can see, which is a limestone tile with a bronze frame around it and a bronze bust of a basket of grapes. How appropriate for a wine cellar. We've provided a drawer for your corkscrews and your corks so that it's easy to open a bottle and entertain. So what we've done on the ends of the space is we've created combination style racking, where at the very bottom there's an area for storing wooden cases on each side. Above that, we use some diamond bin storage to increase the capacity of that particular portion of the wall. Let me bring your attention here to the cooling unit that we provide. Here we've used a ductless split system. We've created this diffuser, which we've installed over the evaporator. The evaporator needs to breathe, so it can't be closed in. So we try to blend it into the racking as best as we can to provide something that is pleasant to look at, but functional as well. So that's our cellar here in Westfield, New Jersey. I wanted to thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully you like what we've created as much as the owners do. It's an enhancement to the home and an enhancement to the lifestyle here with the wine cellar and tasting room. So if you've got any questions, you can find us on the internet. Otherwise, happy holidays, everybody. And I hope to see you next time for another tour of one of our wine cellars.